great. Ms. St. Pierre, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
I'm Judge Sara Smolenski, and I have you in front of me on this case that Mr. Malouda Buxia is representing you on, D20-00660SD, originally charged with operating with the presence of a controlled substance. It's a misdemeanor. Prosecuting attorney is allowing that to be reduced to operating while visibly impaired. Operating while visibly impaired, still a misdemeanor, up to 93 days in jail, up to $300 fine. Court costs can be on top of that, Ms. Pierre, or sorry, St. Pierre. You know you can plead guilty or not guilty. You can have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You can have an attorney represent you, and Mr. Abuxia is on our Zoom and is your attorney on this case. But the end decision has to be yours. And if you're going forward on this matter, there's no trial at all. Then you give up your rights associated with having a trial, like bringing in witnesses, cross-examining witnesses, taking the stand yourself, be a witness if you wanted to. If you chose not to, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Can you think of any questions for me so far, Ms. St. Pierre?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
Yes, Your Honor.
On another case, out of another court?
Yes, in the circuit court.
Okay. So our case goes back all the way to January 2nd this year, which is already almost 10 months ago. Almost 10 months ago. The circuit court, when you're on probation to them, part of the rules is not to have any new violations. So if this incident, January 2, was when you were on probation, this could upset? It wasn't. It was before?
No, I was just sentenced to.
Okay. So then this one won't really affect that one because it didn't happen at the time you were on probation.
Right.
But recognize that once you go forward, when you're on probation, you can't have any, you don't want to have, of course, any new offenses of any kind for your circuit court case or for this. Understood?
Yes.
Also, lastly, if there is something you didn't agree with, you have 21 days to appeal to a higher court, that's circuit court. Any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
So then if we go back in time to January 2, almost like I said 10 months ago, westbound I-96 expressway near Fulton Street, how do you want to plead, Ms. St. Pierre, to the operating while visibly impaired?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Do you remember driving?
I don't.
So bits and pieces of the whole experience, some you remember, some you don't. But
Right,
since you've looked
remember-
into it, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember leaving that day.
Yeah.
And then there's like a period of time that I don't remember what happened.
Okay, did you say weaving with a W or leaving with a L?
Leaving with an L, sorry.
Or leaving wherever you were?
Yeah, leaving, like when I left home to drive, I remember like leaving and
Okay.
going.
And where were you going?
I was going to visit my daughter out in Caledonia.
Were you alone in the vehicle driving it, or were other people with you?
I was alone.
So you were driving to Caledonia to see your daughter, and at some point the police got involved, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And a lot of it you don't remember, true?
True.
But in looking back on the whole experience, after talking with your attorney and looking into this, you realize you were driving and you had drugs in your system that caused you to be impaired.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're pleading guilty by your own decision?
Yes.
Nobody's making you do it?
No.
What was the drug or drugs that were in your system?
I had my prescription.
Yep.
Diazepam with, and then there was a small amount of cocaine.
And you know, obviously, that you're not allowed to have any cocaine in your system to any amount, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And with the combination of everything you had in your system, including the small amount of cocaine, that's what caused you to be, well, was there a car accident? Do you even know?
There was no accident, no.
Just the police pull you over?
No, I wasn't pulled over.
You were already on the side of the road?
Yes,
Okay, but the police came upon you because somebody called it in and said this lady needs help.
yes,
Okay, and then they realized you weren't in a good position to drive the car, true?
yes, true.
And were you taken to the hospital or were you taken to jail?
Both,
Okay,
the
did they
hospital.
check you out at the hospital first?
No, they just for the blood draw.
Oh, for the blood draw. So you never had to have any medical attention?
No, I thinking after the fact, didn't know if it, but no, I didn't.
Okay, so today, Ms. St. Pierre, you're pleading guilty because you know on that day you never should have been driving the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And even though you weren't trying to cause a problem, you realize now it was unsafe for you to be driving the car in the condition you were in with the different drugs in your system. True?
Yes, true, Your Honor.
And how old is the daughter that you were going to visit?
She's 11.
So 11 is fifth grade, right?
Sixth grade.
Sixth?
Yep.
Sixth grade. So try to imagine what we would have to tell her if something would have happened to you, if you would have been killed. Just try to imagine what she'd go through because it would be extremely difficult. Does she know about this?
No, Your Honor.
You've not told her.
No, Your Honor.
You're going to have to work up the courage to tell her the truth. She's old enough at fifth grade, sixth grade. She's old enough. I'd say third grade and up, really, but she's old enough at 11, almost 12. You
Yes.
got to be honest with her about the poor choices that you made. And when you look back on this and you think about it, Miss St. Pierre, it's really scary to think about how much you don't remember about this and you were driving the car.
Very scary.
Right.
I've never had my
And we get fatals. We get fatal car accidents. And they are the toughest. They are very, very tough for us, for everybody, of course. But I'm just saying, if you could imagine your mom or dad, your spouse, whoever's in your family that's got to tell your daughter, mom's gone. It'd be beyond devastating.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it certainly wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, and
I'll ask you, Mr. Abuxia, whether you believe the court has complied with the court rule in terms of the taking of the plea, OWVI.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you want to say, Ms. St. Pierre? You were starting to talk.
Oh, just that I've been doing a lot of work on myself. I know I made
Good.
decisions. I've gone through a treatment program, 90-day treatment program. And
Big.
currently
That's big.
I'm living in a sober living home.
That's huge too.
Yeah, I've been.
Well, it sounds like you're doing all the right things. Now we got to make it last forever
Yes, definitely.
to get yourself back into a good position, a stable position, you
Yes.
know? When you went through those programs, I'm sure they had an assessment done. We can get an alcohol or drug assessment from one of the places you're doing, even with your aftercare rehab now or whatever you're doing once you're out. Or if the sober living unit has a assessor that can do something, but we set this case up for sentencing. Mr. Abuxia has some paperwork that you've probably already given him that he's going to let me see about the progress that you've made and some of the great things that you're doing. I applaud you for that and ask you to continue with that. But
Yes.
we're not done with this case yet. And I
Right.
didn't even ask you what your felony case is in circuit court. Probably drug related. I don't know.
No, it's not, and it's not. It was dropped. It's not I wasn't charged or wasn't convicted of the felony.
Uh-huh.
But I was charged with failing to report the discovery of a body.
Oh, yeah, that's hard. So you've known people that died from a drug situation?
Well, I didn't know, but
Okay.
I mean, I walked into it.
Okay,
And
well, it's probably more information than I need, but it sounds scary as all get out. All I'm saying to you is you got to keep working the best you can to get yourself on track. You're not on probation to circuit court.
Yeah.
unless it is some type of a felony case. So it may have been a lesser charge, and that's fine, but just be squeaky clean throughout. That's what we need. Do you understand?
Yes, definitely. I
Okay.
don't want to be
Yeah.
done with that part
Yeah,
of my
that's
life.
fine. Okay, that's fine. Mr. Abuxia will get a date, and then he'll talk to you, and we'll Zoom again with the sentencing and finish this, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for your honesty about what went on with this case and all your information, and we'll go forward with the next step when you get information from Mr. Abuxia, okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna quick run of that.